What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. So, Don, with the Don Fran Show, we're going to talk about the futures tonight. So, futures did open up green. We're talking about the stock market. Well, in order as usual, the dollar, the Russell, the Nasdaq, the S&P. Talk about if they're green, why they're. I don't really care about the why, but they're green, and are they going? Is this the bottom? Give all my opinions on that. After that, I'm going to turn to you guys for a few minutes, break some tickers down for you guys. I do have to actually answer a couple questions from my YouTube members. I was not able to go live yesterday, so the YouTube members, everybody that clicked the join button next to subscribe, they do get a stream on Sunday, Saturday. Today's Sunday. And so I do have to answer those real quick. I was unable to do that, and it'll probably be the same time, the same Saturday every year. Was not thinking ahead on that one. So I do have to answer their questions first. Only a few. Then, rest is for you guys. Futures are green, which I even just told my mentorship group. Looks like I'm about to tag out. This is where my stop is at. Let's get that back down to you. Now, I'm only short one contract. It's a micro contract. But there's my stop. We're just shy of it. I'm sure I'm about to get the alert that it's about to tag out. Now, while I don't think this is the bottom, quite literally at all, sign up for the bracket. I do think we're going to see, we haven't seen a rip your face off rally. We've been trending down for a little bit. We've had this wasn't bad for sure. Well, for the other markets, that was a crash. We finally hit that 21% mark, and then kind of ripped up. So from here to here wasn't bad. But I do think, and what I'm on the watch out for this week is actually a what we call rip your face off rally, shorts covering, taking profits. That does get mixed in with some dip buy crowds, some momentum traders. Everybody buying because there is a green candle. Looks like you were cheating again with your stops above those wicks. For those of you guys that are new to my channel, yes, it's still hilarious. It'll be hilarious till the day I die. Someone said I cheat in the stock market because I put my stop below and above the previous wicks. And I don't know, maybe you guys should start cheating too. And see if you stop out a little bit less. What's happening, everybody? For as many of you guys that are in here, that chat is pretty quiet, the live chat. Anyway, real quick, and this is something I just went over in my other video on Don Fran trading. If we do pull up this, right? So here is, what are we on? This is the Russell, 23%, 23.5% from top to bottom. Now that's an actual crash. Remember, anything below 10%, that's a pullback. 10% to 20, correction. 21 and more is a crash. Those are the actual terms, not we crashed 3%. That doesn't make sense. We didn't just pull back 50% either. Like, that was a crash. And if we look at the Nasdaq here, same story. Just over 22%. Okay, so those full-blown crash. Now we go to the S&P 500, and we look at the same days. That's down just shy of 15%. I don't think even for a second we come out of this unscathed or hit all-time highs again without hitting the 21% mark on the S&P. Maybe one day the charts will change my mind, and we'll see just more green candles in red. You know, right now, when I look for a bottom, it's usually not the bottom penny. Like, it would bounce almost similar to what we're doing here. Let's go to a smaller time frame. Okay, we see some buyers show up. Now it quit making a lower low. There's your first sign. So it's lower lows, lower highs. We made the low, we made the lower high, we came back down. We did not make a lower low. That's sign one. Hey, something's up. Buyers are at least holding this level. And then it trends up for a little bit, but we all know you can't make a bear flag without a couple green candles. So it pushes up, and then we pull back and we make a higher low. So almost similar to this right here. You know, at that point I'm thinking, okay, let's at least worry about this trend up. Did I just dodge that? I want to make sure I'm still in this. I hope that thing does just trend down. Man, that missed my stop by. My stop is just right here. That really just barely missed me. I'll ask a question in a second. Anyway, I don't think this is a bottom or anytime soon. So for the investors, this is the ride you signed up for. Overall, do I think stocks will be above this 2 years from now? Of course. And as an investor, that would be an important question for me to answer. As a trader, I don't really care. The more we go up, the more we go down, the more movement we have, the more money I make. I worry about that. I don't think it'll get tagged out. Hope not. What's interesting, though, is the past few Sundays have been a bright red candle. I get to bring out my futures opened up red thumbnail, which gets everybody. It gets all kinds of views. I talk about a crash or anything, there's 200 people in here live. If I talk about this at the bottom, we're going to all-time highs, 4 people show up. But it's been, so we opened that way, and then by Monday morning, it's already back there, if not exceeding it, and then starting to push up. So maybe we just maybe it's just opposite day on Sunday. We open up green. By tomorrow morning, we'll see a bunch of red. I know everybody's pretty hyped about what peace talks. There's something about peace talks with war, with Russia and Ukraine. Now something about Iran getting shot at, or Erbil. Maybe it's not Iran. Maybe it's Iraq. Anyway, that's kind of fresh news to me. I haven't done a whole lot of digging there, so maybe we're gonna poke that bear from a different angle. Who knows? I know there's nothing short of it. There's no shortage of excuses to full send this thing to the downside. So more importantly, as we break things down, try not to have a directional bias. Okay, I don't have a directional bias. I don't care if we're at all-time highs. I would kind of care if we're at all-time lows. Like, the market just erases the past 40 years. Yeah, that'd be concerning. But also likely, I don't have to worry about the stock market because something else probably happened outside. I'm probably wearing camo. I'm probably in a different country at that point. Literally cry, say bye-bye to your money. No, that's definitely not. You shouldn't be crying at all. Everyone should have a plan and stick to that plan. Your plan should match your time frame. Your trade should match your time frame. There's no sense in talking about Tesla's factories opening up and they're ramping production if you're trading for the next week. Okay? Who cares about who you're following and what they're saying about Tesla? Because, yeah, there's a lot of Tesla investors, and for some reason they make YouTube videos every day. Tesla hasn't really changed. It's been the same car company. It's been the same story for quite some time. It's an impressive story. Yet every day there's a new Tesla video about how awesome they are. And that's cool. But some people like try to correlate that to trading, and that's not the case because Tesla, and this is just a great example, Tesla's factories are still going to open up. They're still going to ramp. There's still a supply issue. Still going to do all of that. Still going to produce more this year than they did last year. Does that mean their stock price is going up? Absolutely not. Oh, that was your reply to the guy with the, okay, so I'm going to assume it says, am I dead about Russian stocks? I own 500 shares of the YNDX. Now halted, not trading anymore. What should I do? Well, there's nothing you can do because it's completely halted. So you're going to wait for that to open. And they do that to protect people because if there's a mass just run out, then I don't know. I actually agree with the halting of the Russian index, Russian stocks. Because who would be buy? Like, I see people over here like, should I buy the ruble? Should I do this? Like, no, don't be silly. Well, do whatever you want. That's not my money. I'm not giving you financial advice. But I actually agree with it being halted. They're in the middle of a war, front page news on everything, and it's just wait. Got it. My plan, crying. Energy plays are done. I'm late. I had this talk with my mentorship group just the other night, and it was one of our members, I think it was her dad. He said, you know what? You know how you make millions? Go into the commodities futures, right? We're talking about oil and wheat, or nickel. And it's like, man, that's like buying Bitcoin at 70,000 right now. If you're going to jump into those like wheat and nickel, there is still a definite supply. And this whole game is supply and demand and how people can manipulate that. Now, you can say it's how do people like... I don't know. Some people really take it personal. Like, they're out to get you. People manipulate stocks because it's what you can do, and it makes them a lot of money. But so when I say manipulation, it's how can we manipulate the supply or demand? Can we produce more? Can we take this out? Can we put a headline for this? There is there's a case for manipulation in oil probably almost every day. It's probably one of the most manipulated ones. There's a lot of people that run and depend on oil. But I've been telling everybody that's the biggest game of hot potato right now. Oil could go a lot higher. This could be the peak. If you guys have been following along, I rode this up. I sold oil. I shorted it right here. I have not bought back in yet. I'm debating on it, and I just might, but I don't know. What I don't like, I like to be consistent with my income and trading, and that everything about that spells out just not consistent. And since I trade the futures, the actual oil futures, that's a spicy one to be trading right now. But Bitcoin's supposed to be 100K. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was one of the people. I was someone that said that. But the difference in me saying Bitcoin to 100K and everyone else is, last year I said it'll probably go to 100K by the end of this year, but next year Bitcoin's in trouble. So technically, I was half wrong, half right. Are you a glass half empty or half full kind of guy? Didn't make it to the 100K, but we are having some trouble. And before we get off Bitcoin here, it's because Bitcoin was a hedge against the dollar, not inflation or whatever weird reason everyone else keeps coming up with. This was an obvious play. If you go back, actually, where was Bitcoin at right here? Go back to November and watch my Bitcoin video, where I was watching the dollar, watch that happen to Bitcoin, and that's when I figured out there are institutional buyers in here. This is way more than just somebody on Robinhood. That's when I got in Bitcoin. I said, I'm buying Bitcoin. It was 16,000 right here. It was this red candle specifically. I remember this exact thing. Because then I got made fun of for buying Bitcoin at its peak, because that's what it looked like. I haven't heard back from that guy. But anyway, that was the chart. I said I'm going in. Buying Bitcoin, this is why. It was off the US dollar. So to me, this Bitcoin move has been blatantly obvious. But to all others, they think it, I don't know, I've heard a million reasons why Bitcoin's going to go up or down and all around. And there's over 17,000 altcoins. So altcoin is everything but Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still the main one. Like, for those to be green, you need either a fraudster YouTuber pumping it, or B, Bitcoin to be up. So regardless of what you think about Bitcoin, that will lead the way. That's when the money from the Robinson came in. All right, so let's get on with the futures really quick. I'm sorry if that was loud for you guys. All right, as far as the dollar, are we not long the dollar? It was a forex play, British pound, US dollar. We are short the dollar, I thought. We're not in it. It tagged out. Never mind. Man, do I want to be long or short? I'm gonna short the dollar. So British pound, US dollar. I'm gonna go long right here. Never mind. We went long right here, stopping in the green. It did. I don't like that it broke that zone though. Do we just go with the trend? If we're long this, it's short the. Part of me wants to buy this. That's short the dollar. If I'm short this. Hang on. I hate that it's backwards. That really confuses me and throws me off sometimes. I have an Edward Jones near me. Someone asked me today if I can trade so well without a financial degree. Then isn't Edward Jones smarter than me, therefore should be making more? What? I have an Edward Jones. Someone asked me today if I can trade so well without a financial degree. Then isn't Edward Jones smart? Oh, no, that sounds completely stupid. Are they? They're smarter than you, so they're making more. That's not even apples to oranges. That's like an apple to a palm tree. I don't know. I would need a little more context on that one, Chowski. I've talked to people from Edward Jones because I looked at going that route, and I don't think any of them were really trading. How do I go with the trend and just short this? Part wants to buy it, run it back up into that zone, then go short. In this market, candles are just cheaper puts. Oh, green candles are just cheaper puts. Exactly, I do agree with that. I gotta leave this one alone for now. It just doesn't make sense for me. It's not really a structured trade. If it popped back up, I would like to go short this, which would be the dollar. If it popped back up, it would be the dollar going up. Anyway, why, guys, if you're new to Forex, the second pair is, so the first pair is the dominant pair, is the easiest way to explain it. So that's why it's backwards. To go long the US dollar is to actually short this pair. And what are we long? We spent a lot of time on this. I like being in some kind of Forex trade, but what I don't like doing, if I don't see the play right off the bat, I don't like forcing it. Man, and Merlin even said the other day, it's an old saying, if you stare at a chart long enough, if you torture a chart long enough, it'll tell you whatever you want it to say. I forget the exact wording, but you'll find a play in there. And that's what I don't like doing, because you'll stare at it long enough and then start telling yourself a story. And there's this back and forth right here. We're still not there. I'm going to wait. So I'll go long here, and I will short it here. So when those alerts go off, that's the place I'll be taking. Can you just buy the USD GBP to go along the US dollar? No. The British, they were weird. When they were establishing this market, they said, we're not going to be in it if we're not going to be first. Dead serious. So the British pound's first. I think other than one pair. Or it's the US dollar. I don't. There's a one pair in there that doesn't go by that. I wonder if that's US dollar or British pound. But most of the time you'll see the British pound is first. Does another one make sense? Hang on. I kind of want. Part of me wants to short that. What's the point in Edward Jones if you know how to trade? I've used them before, so it sounds like they're targeting individuals that don't know how the market works. Yeah, I mean, we're trading, and then they're more of an investment, grow your wealth kind of thing, and then someone's managing it for you. What broker do you use for Forex? Owanda. As far as the Russell goes, I'm bullish above here, bearish below here. Kind of just dancing around, going sideways. If anything, I'm looking more for that to break to the downside. So, seeing these wicks, guys, when you see these zones like this, typical supply and demand would probably have their zones way down here, and then their stop. Well, the bottom of the zone is that bottom. That's the distall line. Think distance. That's the furthest point. But I like to go anyway. The main game of the main area of attention, where all the buyers and sellers are going to town. And then I look at these wicks, because for that wick to be there, an order did get placed there. But I like to use that to manage my stop. And then also look at the story. So right now, yes, the game of tug of war is being played right here. This is like cracks in the ice. Not a good noise when you're walking on a frozen lake. So seeing it come into that zone, I'd be a little bit less hesitant, or I'd be a little more hesitant to buy than I would be to do anything else. But once that does break, I would be looking to go short. Once that red candle does break through, maybe I'm switching gears and going short, understanding that might be a wick pretty quickly, so put my stop in the green, but kind of just let it go after that. As far as the NASDAQ goes, kind of just doing its thing. Same thing. We're playing the back and forth game here. So looking for that to actually break. Yeah, nothing. Why is that so far off? Oh. Yeah, no other story here other than for me to be bullish, that alert has to go off. That pink zone's a weekly zone. Still don't think this is the bottom. As we bounce out of this and just make one more lower high, that just tells me fewer and fewer buyers were there. Hang on. All right, as far as the S&P goes, have I tagged out yet? Come on. Should I go long here or should I just wait? My stop is right here, just above this wick. I was thinking about moving it above here. But again, what I'm looking for this week is a rip your face off rally, some kind of shorts covering. Attach it to peace talks, whatever, whatever fits the narrative. But I'm thinking we do get a couple of green days, even if we gap down. Would not surprise me at all. And these are what screws people up. Because you think short, right? We're going to go... And just think, when you were long this whole market and that bright red day came out of nowhere, everybody got real panicky and just sold positions, stops got hit. That's the same in a bear market. So people that are short, their stops are in the green. You got the FOMO crowd. Everything just saying downside, and then when it doesn't, stops go up. Anyway, buying pressure from shorts covering, and it sends it up. That will not be the bottom. And if that does happen, I can tell you guys I'm just going to have that much more going short. I'm going to buy it, I'm going to ride it up, and I'm going to take all those profits, put it right back into going short. I did tag out. I'm going to go long one time. So I'm going to go long and put my stop right here. Then after that, yeah, I'll do the S&P. Hang on, what letter are we on? We're on H. I'm actually going to go to the M. MES M22. So that'd be the June contract. Which instantly filled. All right, so we're long right now. So now green candles can come, send to the moon. I'm all about it. Avoid Edward Jones. They will steer you into invest/trade with preferred stocks. Okay. Are we trading futures? Yeah, yeah. Hang on, I do have to answer some questions from the YouTube members. All right, first one up. So if you're a YouTube member, I'm going to go and start at the bottom of the list like usual. So Alex, you said Ford, you are bearish. I would be careful being bearish on this one. I just want that. So far that zone is holding. And big picture, that's a nice trend. I would rather that break. That's not a bias because I have a lot of Ford shares. It's just that riding that, I'd probably want to see that break first. Before I got crazy with it. But if I was going to short it right here, I'd want my stop. I probably would give it 1685 would be my stop on that one. I guess it's not bad for a short play. 1735 is probably all the wiggle room you need to give that in the world. I have no clue if I'm bearish or bullish. Intel. I would be bearish. Chart that looks like that, yeah. I would at least be bearish into that. And I'd rather be bearish, put my stop in the green. So once it cracks into this zone, put my stop if we broke into that zone, say we're sitting at 44, just shy of 44, my stop would be 44.85, and I'd let that go. It's going to bounce and tag me out, or we're going to break this, go for that free fall, and then I'll just ride that whole train to zero. And I'd probably have a flag of the Apple M1 chip like at my front door, just just waving it to everybody that drove by, like, this is why you don't buy Intel. I love Intel, but if I was that bearish, that's what I would do because it'd be funny. But for now, yeah, I would be short. Amazon and Docu bearish puts. Amazon. I talked about shorting Amazon after that news. It looked just like Google. I will short Amazon tomorrow if it breaks this zone. But if we're going to rally, Amazon moves contracts. And can we talk about Amazon and split for a second? If I'm allowed to vote, I'm voting no. Don't split. Leave this thing alone. What makes Amazon so cool is that it is $3,000. And the options contracts. The options contracts, I'm sorry, it's just not a bunch of Robinhood traders in there. It's other traders. It's just not, I don't know. I feel like I got this thing characteristically down. I know who's trading. I know my group. I know my people. And I get to take their money all the time. You know, if you're playing poker, you can play with the same people every day. And you get to know their how they move, what they do, the looks on their face, other little games they play. But now it's time to switch and go to a new table. If Amazon splits, now I got to figure out how this thing trades. Is it even still cool? Amazon and Tesla are the top two options traded tickers, and I'm curious, does Amazon even hold that spot after the split? I was all about it when we were talking about splits last year because everybody was so hyped up, and Amazon, or not Tesla, but not Amazon, Tesla and Apple did the split, sent things to the moon, and everyone thought, oh, Amazon's going to do the same thing. Market's crashing right now, and the splits they announced are so far in the future, it doesn't even matter at this point. So the splits just doesn't have the same effect. But to answer your question, gets below that zone, I would be short. Docu, did that not jump off a cliff for earnings? Just doing what it's been doing. Nothing's changed. And to answer your next question, am I swinging short? I was, just tagged out. You know, someone's going to be watching this level right here and calling it a support. You'll probably have some buyers here. Right here, actually, as a matter of fact. I'd watch out for this level right here for Docu. Other than that, yeah, I would just stay short, just stay the path. Why buy it? Somebody already did. So there's some buyers right there. There might be a couple more at this type 2 level. Maybe it bounces for a little bit. I'd rather just go short if it popped up here. I wouldn't even be bullish till it broke above probably 102. Like until we get above that previous move, everything else is just going to be a great short entry. Just join. What's your opinion for tomorrow? I'm actually thinking, I'm looking for, if that makes sense, green. We're still very much in a trend down. We're headed down. Everything about it, bearish. But I'm kind of thinking at some point we do get a relief rally. A rip your head off, rip your face off rally. So hang on, what is this? You can make 20 times the amount of covered calls though. Kind of. It's all going to be the same. I'll have to sell 20 times the contracts to make my one contract. I tell you right now, I don't have 100 shares of Amazon. But I will after the split. It will at least go into, as far as my investment account, the investment account is getting more Amazon and Google. So I will be selling contracts either. But as far as a trader goes, I'm not thrilled about the split, to be honest. Man, Alex, you put your whole watch list out here. Hang on, let me answer this one. BC15, you guys here? All right, expect to move for Tesla, $64. We saw that in the beginning. But Tesla, we can bring that up real quick. We'll just chart it out. A little baby move for Tesla. And across the board, the video is coming out, by the way, on my other channels. As far as Don Don Fron Trading. I did do the expected moves. It normally comes out on Saturday. That is coming out as soon as I get off this stream. So you will have the expected moves for Tesla now, and the Russell, the Nasdaq, and the S&P. More Amazon or more Google in your investment account? Both. Bullish if at the bottom of the expected move for SPY. Bearish anywhere close to the middle of the range or higher. Overall bearish. Shorting these days is like going long in a bull market. Yeah, I agree. I will say on that note, be careful. If we do start to rip up, don't just start buying puts, guys. It's called a rip your face off rally for a reason. And what you might be doing is buying puts on what you thought was just a pullback in a bear market. And then that is really just kicking the engine. Like, we're lighting the engines up, and it's going to make that move up. And it will destroy your puts. So that A, you got to give it time. Or B, wait for the buyers to stop. Like, when things are just going, up, just full send, they're doing this. You don't need to buy puts here or here or here. Just wait until you see this. Then buy the put. Okay? Or like it'll push up, pull back, come back, lower high. Then nail your puts. If you're buying a put right here like this one, put your stop in the green because you're probably about to get a lower high, and then you get your next one right here. So you have a couple bucks, you'll tag out here, go back in short for better entry here, and then yeah, full send to the downside. What's your opinion? What's more likely, oil back to 130 or 80.90? I bet both. But which one's first? Hang on, Alex, let me get to your questions. Man, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. And, if that broke, I'd watch the $100 level. Getting below that, it'll show up in headlines, oil back under 100, and then that'll probably be when it sends it right back up. Watching ticker X on the daily chart. Bullish, broke 30.70, retested, and looks like it will have resistance at 47, stop loss at 30.45. Okay. Okay, I agree. So stop loss is at 30.45. Okay, so as long as it holds that daily trend up, you're good. I guess you did say you're watching on a daily trend time frame. Yeah, I agree there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I agree. I was trying to think if I would do anything different. I was thinking maybe 30.85. Because if that ends up being like a fake out scenario where it comes back down and tests that, when that tags out, I wouldn't be 100% done with that trade. I would want to see if that actually held, and I'd probably get back in. Don the man, thank you for your charts. You're welcome. Run bullish the 4-hour chart. I'm going to burn through the rest of that. Run bullish the 4-hour chart. Stop. Well, good news is it's kind of trending up. Stop loss 35.90. Resistance. Okay, stop 28.85. Well, at least you're paying attention to my videos. Yeah, because if that breaks, I would then put my alert at 27. Blink, you love these things. Bullish. Oh, bullish if it breaks. Okay, bullish if it breaks 25.70. I'd be careful. You're gonna. So I see what you're looking at, and you're looking at that, and you're thinking, oh, resistance. There we go. You're gonna run right into a batch of sellers. So if I was gonna be bullish, I'd rather buy down here and put my stop at 21.45. Play a higher low scenario. By the time we get into that zone, my stop is in the green. So your bullish scenario, fine, as long as it sends it through. I still have that cushion if it does reject. Yeah, can you guys do me a solid? Hit the thumbs up button for you. Half you guys already did, which is amazing. Can you hit the subscribe and thumbs up? I don't preach like all the other YouTubers. I can. When we start selling life insurance, I'm a real estate agent. I can start selling real estate courses. I can do it. And I will tell you every 30 seconds. Unless you take the moment right now. Hit that thumbs up button. Boeing on the daily chart is in a downward channel. From your experience, can you play the channel? Can you play the channel for a long play? I'm asking because I have a cash account and can't short. I would ask why out of over 7,000 tickers you want to buy this one when you've just said it's in a down channel. When's life insurance available? I'm sure if I were to do it, there'd be a link and you can get it in under 5 minutes. Oh, and I do offer marriage counseling. Are you married and want a way out of it? I am your guy. You just listen to me, and I'll be sure to have that marriage done in no time flat. I just don't know if it's worth it. You can, but you'll see things kind of like this. Those like downward channel went sideways, hit the top of that, went right back down. I think there's better plays. SU. Bullish 4-hour chart, stop loss 30.85. Lots of gaps in after hours on the 1-hour chart. Should I avoid these kinds of tickers? This does look low on volume. Yeah. I don't know if I would avoid them. I mean, it's an energy play. Energy's doing all right. It's got a nice trend up. You got a decent stop in there. Like, when I see lower volume on that and gaps everywhere, I try to avoid that storm, place my risk much lower, and I'm just in a smaller position. Before we get out of here, guys, what's the ticker for you? I saw NVIDIA. I do have to get to my mentorship group. That is the teachable link down below with the trading suite. But that does have like a chat where I go live every night. Also, my whole full-blown course. Don, review the Don stock. But I want to break down a couple tickers for you guys. That's just dancing around that. Man, that kind of looks like it's... Aside from what I think is about to happen in the markets, if we're just playing the charts, that looks like a good short entry. Hood and Roblox, okay. Thanks for that tip in regards to AMC 3 weeks ago. I sold my calls and bought puts. You were trying to sell me the... Wait, what? You were trying to sell me these calls? Did I tell you I would sell you those calls? And made a crap ton. AMD to the floor so I can buy. I want NVIDIA to the floor. I don't know why I like NVIDIA better. But I wouldn't care if that thing dropped down to... Oh yeah, this is where it's at. I would buy NVIDIA all day at that price. Well, there's the March. That's the Rona crash right there. Not bad. Remember I told him you were going to sell him those calls? Oh, okay. I do remember. I don't, for some reason it sounded like maybe he was being sarcastic, like I was trying to tell him to go long or something. I was like, I don't think so. No, I would never be long that particular ticker. You're an AMC puts. How much meat's left on the bones? Crazy how cheap these stocks are. Tempted to buy Apple, Google, and Tesla, but man, looking bearish. Yeah, just get ready to buy. There's the dollar cost average approach, but then there's the set your alert above it and just let it sell off every day. And then when that alert goes off, like that'll ease the FOMO. Just, hey, if this goes above here, set your alert where a green candle, it has to be a green day to set that. Like trend just changed. Now it's time to worry about this thing. Then when those alerts go off, just go on a shopping spree. But every day you just check in, move that ticker, move that alert right on down. AMD to the floor. Yeah, AMD breaks the $100 mark. That'd be huge. That'd be cool. I would buy it down here. 75 bucks. Hang on, Roblox, because I saw some crushed hopes and dreams. I bet Roblox will probably only sell off, now give or take about 4 cents, but $39.20. I bet that's all the further that thing's got to go. I wonder what Pelosi did with her trade. Maybe she made so much on Google, she didn't care. Wait, I remember your comment now. I remember telling you I will make sure all those calls fill. I do 100% remember that. She's down 120 million on Roblox. She probably made 450 million on Google. As far as this goes right now, guys, these zones, they're not magic. I don't make them up. I'm not a fortune teller. I'm not Cleopatra, nor are we related. I do not do tarot cards. I don't burn feathers or leaves in a bowl. But until it makes a zone, I can't draw one out there, which tells me we got here to here. I imagine somewhere between here and here we'll probably find a bottom. Or if we don't, the market did for you and it gets delisted. So in the meantime, why worry about it? The trend is down. I'm in this, all right, an investment account. I'm in this, and I see you guys talking about PayPal. I'm in that. I have a big position in Facebook. They kind of all look like this. But by no means do I want to be burning money in a barrel and just tossing my other wallet in there. Like, well, maybe I'll just keep that, for when the fire stops. If I was trading that, I don't know why you would be trading this in a long position. Like, I can understand investment, that's a completely different conversation. But as a trader, I'm only going to ask you, what are you still doing in this thing? Where was your stop? Unless you just bought it and you're about to tag out tomorrow morning, I just don't see the opportunity. As far as PayPal, do I think it's a good investment? So I'm going to say I do because it's in my investment account. And when that alert goes off, I was going to grab some more. But I'm still waiting for that. I'm going to be super annoyed if that turns around and that's the absolute bottom for PayPal. And all of a sudden I just never get any more. Roblox will always be known as a good Rona hype stock. Yeah, as long as it's not Facebook. Listen, Zuck, are you listening? We're about to meet face to face. If you don't get on Twitter, start hyping some things up. Announce you're going to make a Bitcoin. I don't know, just do something cool. I want you to go study Elon's Twitter and its interaction with the stock market. Don't you want to make billions? Your last comment when you got fined 40 million or something like that was, how am I ever going to keep the lights on? Where's that Zuckerberg at? I'm tired of my investment account just going red looking at this stupid thing. Let's see, PayPal's a dying company. They have stalled out on their growth, and what future do they really have? I don't know. Until they announce they don't have a future, I still like them. Guys, it is time for me to get to my mentorship. Anyway, as far as Facebook goes, though, that is my same scenario. It's in my biggest position in my investment account. That's my alert to buy more. As far as that goes, the reason I like this one, I do like Google. I think one of the questions for tonight's mentorship is, should I just start buying them now? And it's one of those, when money does come back in the market. Right now we look like this, right? So delete all the zones, who cares? That's where we're headed. We're headed south, right? It goes from the top left to the lower right. That's a pretty quick and easy hack to know, hey, is it a bullish or a bearish market? But when the money does come back, where does it go to first? And it's not going to be crap companies. It's not going to be Roblox. Or, sorry, not Roblox. I meant Nikola. It's going to be like companies that are just, wait, right now everybody's thinking duck, take cover, go to management, go to safety, just preservation. You guys know what I'm talking about. That's typically where they buy bonds and buy other things, safer things, dividend tickers. We saw the huge rotation from tech into things like dividend stocks. So when it comes back, they're going to think, okay, now we can start deploying some of this cash. Where are we going? Let's check some of the big hot names. Some of the names we know are here, that are for sure still here in the storm. They're still going to be here. Maybe they're even cheaper now. And it should be things like Facebook, Amazon, Google, just things that institutions love. Billion-dollar companies will always have more room to expand and open opportunities. Yeah, and that'll draw the attention first, which is why I like those companies, and it's why I don't mind having them in my investment account. What's your number one investment position? It's Facebook. It might, if Facebook sells off any further, it's going to be Tesla. But right now it's racing to zero. My account positions are like Sony and Samsung when they come out with a new TV. It's always like, this is the brand new TV. It's $8,000. It'll be Sony. And then Samsung comes out with one. Well, ours is $7,000. All the same features. And Sony says, oh, yeah? And you've seen this between every tech company and every tech product you've ever held in your hand. The first thing that comes out, it's $1 billion. 1 year later, they are giving it away. And that's about... sorry, I did say that. It's about what my investment account looks like. Heard those before. Shoulda, coulda, woulda done. All right, as far as hood goes, it's pretty cool that it held that. And let me tell you something. As a trader, when I tell you it's pretty cool it at least held that, it's not the most bullish sign. But let's check that quick hack out that I just taught you guys about. Top left to lower right, trending down. Man, below this, I don't know, hood's going to need a buyout from E-Trade. E-Trade, focus up. You already had the talking babies. Okay, you've already got the crowd. Now buy Robinhood. Vlad already dropped the ball one too many times. Buy them out. Let's get this thing. Make it green. Instead of green, we'll make it purple. You guys know. You guys know your colors. As a trader, I would be even cautious to buy that dip one more time. Maybe one more. It's got one more bounce. And if we don't start making moves and start getting up here and testing that $15 level, I'd just say, when are we going to kick the door in on this and move it even lower? You know what this reminds me a lot of? Clove. You know, Clove was a $2 stock at one point. Remember, it used to hold 6 and 8. Look at that. This was like you're right here. Why aren't you buying Clove? Now it's just dwindling away. That's what Robinhood's going to look like if it breaks that. Does Oracle have room to go down more? I love this question because I can give you the answer. Does it have room? It has exactly $77.35 room to go down. If it's not at zero, it can go to zero. That's for any stock on the market, period. Is it likely for Tesla or Amazon? No. Could it? Absolutely. So to answer that question, this is for the reason I even took that question is because to answer this to everybody, yes, it has room to go down more. There's never not a scenario where it can't. Breaking that $70, I'd say we start getting there a little bit quicker. So thank you for everybody. Hit the thumbs up. I will not sign up to be a life insurance broker and sell you life insurance. So every 30 seconds you will not hear from me. There is life insurance. There's a cloud in the sky. Life insurance down below. But what you could do, it's free. Hit the subscribe button. I have to get to my mentorship group. If you want to check that out, that is the teachable link down below. Anyway, Trading Suite has everything. Literally everything I'll ever put out. That's the Trading Suite. So if you want to check that out, there it is. Everyone else. I'll see you guys in the next video.